Good news, everybody! The kettle has returned and did a really terrible job at parking. Because for 40 points in spring, you can go ahead and land yourself this, the Lancia 037 Stradale. This thing has a whopping 202 brake horsepower and 172 foot-pounds of torque while weighing just under 2,550 pounds with a 2-litre engine. So here we are now over at the upgrade shops. We'll jump straight to a conversion and see what we've got for engines. We've got the option to have in a 1.6 litre inline-4 turbo rally, a 3.5 litre V8, or a 3 litre racing V8, which I think we might jump back to in a little bit. But we also have the option to go ahead and make this thing all-wheel drive, should we so wish to, and we can go ahead and throw on a turbo in the place of the supercharger if we want to do that too. Next up, for aero and appearance, we've got quite a fair few options. We have got the option of a different front bumper. We can go ahead and add some valley lights. Or we can go ahead and, oh, hello, that's a lot of stuff. So for the back, we can go ahead and put on a different style of wing. We can go ahead and put an extra tyre on the roof, or we can go ahead and just remove everything. It kind of looks a little bit like an older squished Ferrari. For the back bumper, we've got two options. We can go ahead and just either take it off completely, or we can go ahead and take it off completely and have a little bit of extra steel. You know what, we're going to do that. Going to the sides, we have got the option for some mudguards at the front, so we're going to run those as well. And for the bonnet, we have got some hood pins and vents, or some more hood pins, vents, and a hole in it for some reason. But let's go ahead and get this thing built up to A-class, and we'll go ahead and see what we can do with it, and then we'll go ahead and check out the paints. So after a little bit of upgrading, we have reached A760, we're at 304 brake horsepower, and we weigh just over 2,100 pounds. Now to check out the paint. So once again, if we go ahead and take a listen really quickly. Yep, we've found yet another way to break Forza Horizon 5. Anyway, going to advanced paint groups, we've got nothing, but going to manufacturer paints, we have a whopping 2. We have got a red and a black, which honestly looks really, really cool on this thing. And away we go. Now, fun fact is, I've not really seen one of these in person, and so if anybody happens to know where one of these is that I can go ahead and actually take a look at, that would be absolutely fantastic. But in the meantime, we have got a race to go ahead and try and win. Also, hey Forza devs, can we have this as an engine swap for literally every other Lancia in the game, please? That'd be very, very nice. And yes, that is with the supercharger. Now, one thing I'm trying to figure out is, does this qualify as a Group A, Group B, Group C, or something else rally car? I genuinely don't know. So if anybody in the comments does happen to know, could you let me know too, please? Okay, last major turn. Come on, let's go ahead and floor it in this thing. Everybody else is, well, absolutely miles behind, and this thing's now very, very grubby. But I reckon we can go ahead and get ourselves across to the line. Oh yeah, this is going to be easy. The line is literally just here, and across we go with a very, very, very cool looking Lancia. I'd never thought I'd say about one of these, but there is a cool looking Lancia at first place in a time of 2 minutes 27. So help me, if this game crashes now, I'm going to exist. Now, as much as I absolutely love the sound that comes out of this thing, sadly we are going to go ahead and have to engine swap it with the 3 litre racing V8, and of course get ourselves some all-wheel drive. I'm stumbling over my words here, but let's go ahead and throw in some twin turbos as well, because we're going to go ahead and make this thing a little bit of a drag build, which means I've got a lot of stuff to change in a very short space of time. And now let's go ahead and throw on some drag racing tyres, and hopefully we'll just go ahead and sort the front ones out a little bit. Nope, our front ones are good already, and the back ones should be really wide 315s. And hopefully that should be all that we need. Now I just need to go ahead and apply a lot more bits and pieces and tuning and stuff like that. Yay! Okay, we've now applied some drag racing tyres, so hopefully that should be everything that we need. I'm going to go with the 7-speed just to make sure we have enough gears, a little bit of a race driveline, and an off-road diff because power. So here we are at S1877, we've got 774 brake horsepower, and we weigh just over 2,140 pounds. And now I've got a lot of tuning to do, and we have a drag race to run. However, before we do anything, we'll go ahead and just line ourselves up over here and see if we can get a quick little wheelie check. Do we get anything? Nope. This could be either very good or very, very bad. I'm honestly a little bit concerned. Anyway, let's go ahead and put ourselves on the edge of the drag strip just here. Let's get some launch control running, and away we go. That was a very, very, very high revving, well, rev for our launch control, but let's go ahead and see it. Does that give us any little additional extra benefits? Are we going to be quicker than the car from yesterday? Yes, we are. A lot quicker. 189 through the speed camera, and then off the edge of the runway, we've got 208. and no brakes. Oh god. So now let's go ahead and put on some decent tyres and we'll get this thing ready for a little bit of a top speed run. But before we do that, here is the Forzathon shop for the week. We've got the Ferrari 288 GTR, and they said 250, but it's not. This is the slightly slightly younger Ferrari, I should say. We've got the quick draw remote, the doodle pattern joggers, we've got the Horizon Super Wheel Spin, a Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce, and your regular wheel spin too. So here we are now over at the motorway, so let's go ahead and floor it and see what top speed we get out of this thing. Bear in mind, just under 780 brake horsepower, which is not the highest that we've had, but it certainly is not the lowest either. So let's go ahead and see what we get, and hopefully it'll be good. And through the speed zone we go with 234 point something miles an hour, which is not too bad at all, considering this thing is, well, it's old, but it is very aerodynamic in its shape. But let's go ahead and see what we get through the speed camera and of course our local little downhill section too. And through the camera at 239.81 and bouncing off the Bronco and going back downhill, what do we get? Do we get 239, 240, 241? And if it hadn't been for that Bronco, we probably could have gotten around 245, but yeah, that's one more reason for you to go ahead and get one of these for yourselves to try and see if you can beat my top speed down there. Although we're still missing one vital thing, and that's to take it drifting. Our little drift zone is just up here. Let's go ahead and throw this thing in, get a lot of sideways going, bounce it off the bridge, which is not fantastic, but let's see if we can haul it back. Can we get 30,000 by the end? I think we can. 31,850 points, not too bad at all. Now here we go, going back the other way. What do we get on run number 2? Hopefully better than 31,850, because hopefully this time we won't clonk a bridge, which is always terrible when I do it, but 38,281 and only clonking a wall after we got out of the drift zone, which is a lot better than before. And before we go any further, back in goes the original sounding engine, because I really do prefer the kettle. Now in case you want to know why I refer to this thing as the kettle, I'm just going to go ahead and let you take a listen. It kind of sounds a bit like an old style kettle when it's just about to boil over, which is honestly how the original kettle car got its name, and I'm happy that there's a worthy successor. Anyway, that is it for this video on the Lancia 037 Stradale. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Check out. Bye! It's the almighty kettle!